Thank you very much and welcome to this webinar. So I'm going to start by asking you the question, who is a customer service professional? It's simply every single person who has contact directly or indirectly with the customer within an organization. So the CEO is a customer service professional. The head of accounting is a customer service professional. Now, everybody within an organization has contact with the customers directly or indirectly. I usually say every organization is created for one purpose, and that purpose is to take care of customers, right? And if you are a school, you exist because you want to take care of your customers who are students. If you're a hospital, you exist because you want to take care of your customers who are patients. If you are a government agency, you exist because you want to take care of your customers who are citizens. Now, everybody working within that organization has either direct or indirect contact with customers. Therefore, every person working within an organization is a customer service professional. Now, some organizations have understood that. That's how important customer service is. Without customer service, the organization is totally bound to fail. Totally bound to fail. Because the reason for which the organization exists is to take care of customers. And so, some people may have a more direct role in the customer service. Those are the people who are front desk. Some people have an indirect role, they are back office. But everybody is a customer service professional. It means the number one job description of everybody, starting from CEO, is that everyone is a customer service professional. When you get this clear in your brain, then you begin to identify, okay, I am customer service professional and accountant. I am customer service professional and marketer. I am customer service professional and whatever, compliance officer, right? Because you have two types of customers. First, you have your internal customers, who are your colleagues that you're dealing with every day. And then you have your external customers, who are the people that you all serve, the clients. Now that everyone is a customer service professional, what is your mission? Your mission as a customer service professional, this is from the Customer Service Code of Conduct. You can find this on the CX Touchpoints group website. Above all, know that your mission is to be the bridge between the heart of the customer and the heart of the company. Above all, your mission is to be the bridge between the heart of the customer and the heart of the company. That is your mission. That is the oath you take as a customer service professional. So you're supposed to put your hand and say, I do so swear. Your mission, your goal, your objective, your purpose as a customer service professional is to be a bridge between the heart of the customer and the heart of the organization. Am I able to connect the customer and the organization? Am I able to be the advocate of the customers in front of the organization and the advocate of the organization in front of the customer? I would emphasize again, who is the customer? The customer is anyone who visits your organization or who is buying from you. Even someone who is just trolling around, who is just looking around, is a customer. Because customers are at stages. Sometimes they are at a potential stage and sometimes they have already started buying. But you don't know at what level they are, but they are all customers, right? So your customer is not just the person who is buying from you already. Even the one who is accompanying them to the shop at that time is a customer, because that could already be a potential buyer, right? And so we're not treating people and like, oh, you're buying from us already, so you are our customer, and you're yet to buy, so you could be our customer. No. Everyone that visits our business venue or that is looking at our products already is our customer. And we are treating them that way already. And it's important, super, super important to know that the customer is the reason for which you exist. you, the organization, and that everybody within an organization is a customer service professional, and that the mission of a customer service professional is to be the bridge between the heart of the customer and the heart of the organization. And take note of what I'm saying: the bridge between the heart of the customer and the heart of the organization. So ask yourself, till this point, have I been that bridge between the heart of my customers and the heart of my organization? Because when we're looking at an organization, we're giving it a name: CX Touchpoints Group. What CX Touchpoints Group? Who is CX Touchpoints Group? CX Touchpoints Group is that one person you're going to come in contact with, either on social media or on if you visit our physical offices or if you attend a training. CX Touchpoints Group is that person you see, whatever be the company you work for: Google, Facebook, the big telecoms in Africa, Airtel, the big banks in Africa, EcoBank, UBA, Zenith Bank. Who is Zenith Bank? Is it the CEO? No. Zenith Bank is whoever you come in contact with when you're interacting with Zenith Bank. So you see, the role of the customer service professional is to be that bridge, is to be that face of the company in front of the client, and to be that face of the client in front of the company, that bridge between these two. And so, for you to succeed in this mission, to be that bridge between the organization and the customer, you need certain skills. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. The first set of skills we're going to look at is what we call communication skills. Communication skills, we're going to break it down into 8 sub skills. The first one is active listening, empathy, ability to manage your temperament, have a sense of humor, ability to read physical cues, the use of positive language, respect, persuasive speaking. Let's explain each of these. Active listening. Now, as I was talking, somebody liked this slide. Now, that is action you have performed, right? Now I know that you're listening. Now I know that you're watching. Now I know that you're viewing. That's active. That's maybe, let's say, that's active viewing, right? So, active listening is not just listening, but listening in a way that I know that you're listening. For example, you're doing this. Yeah. You're nodding your head. Okay. Like, oh, I see. Somebody tells you, oh, sorry, today I have a headache. And then you're just normal. You're just normal. You're like, oh, just that, oh, means you have heard. So active listening is listening and making the person to know that, yes, you are actually listening. So there are many ways you can do active listening, right? Nodding your head, okay? Repeating what the person has said, okay? Making sounds that show that you're connecting, you're getting them, okay? Empathy. Empathy is your ability to put yourself in the customer's position. At some point, don't only think of yourself as the customer service professional. Switch roles a little bit. Imagine that if you were the customer in this same position, how would you feel right now? How frustrated, how happy, how embarrassed? Put yourself in their shoe, because at some point in time, you're a customer as well, right? So how did you feel when you felt that frustrated in front of a someone who was serving you? So put yourself in their shoe. Before you tell them to come back next week, ask yourself, what if it were me? Would I want to come back next week? Before you tell them, sorry, I cannot attend to you now, ask yourself, if I were the one who has gone all this distance to be here, would I love to be told to come back next week? So empathy is about putting yourself in the customer's position, trying to feel what they're feeling, so that when serving, you know that what I have just done is what I would have expected someone to do to me if I were in this same position. That is empathy. Then we have the ability to manage your temperament. Yeah. There are some people, you slap them the same exact second, they would slap you before they start thinking, why did you slap me? There are some people, the moment you just talk hardly at them, they just wake up and then they are just so aggressive temperament. Now, the customer has a challenge. They are frustrated. Whom do you think they would come and pour out their frustration to? The CEO? You think they're going to write an email or they would book an audience to come and pour out their frustration to the CEO of your company? No. The very first person who represents this company they meet, they would pour out their frustration. They may be pouring out their frustration, but that frustration is directed towards the organization. Unfortunately, you are the one representing the organization at this point. So you just have to accept it, right? Ability to manage your temperament is being able to remain calm. It's coming in, the insults, the pressure, everything. You remain calm, you remain composed, you remain professional, you keep thinking straight. That is a strong skill for every customer service professional. A sense of humor. A sense of humor. Lighten the mood. Make it feel light. Don't always sound stressed and make the situation complicated for nothing, right? A sense of humor. A little joke, you should, but we're not saying you should just crack some jokes. Some jokes could be very expensive at times. It's important to know. It's important as a customer service professional to have a sense of humor, okay? Smiling, feeling nice, and like try to make a little joke, lighten the atmosphere, and let the customer feel at ease, a sense of humor. Somebody should come towards you and like, oh, it's quite a nice person. Yeah, that's very important. Ability to read physical cues. Ability to read physical cues. Somebody walks to you sweating, and then you're just focusing on what can I do for you. There's a problem. A mother comes to you with the baby, and the baby is there crying, and she's struggling to make the baby feel at ease. And all you're doing is, Madam, what can I do for you today? Wrong. Somebody comes in panicking, and then all you're doing is, what can I do for you today? Wrong. Learn to read people's physical state. How do they look? Smiling, angry, frustrated, in pain. See that first. See that first. Look at them and see that pain. Look at them and see that frustration. Look at them and see that the first thing you should see is that baby that is so inconveniencing. Look at them and see that they are sweating. Probably they've been walking under the sun for a very long time. Read their physical cues. And when you read their physical cues, the start point could be, please, madam, sit down, catch your breath, then tell me what I can do for you. Or the start could be, hi, madam, is there anything I can do to assist you get the baby, let the baby be okay? Like, do you need something? Do you need water? Do you need something? Start from there. Okay? The person comes to you with tears in their eyes. Start from the tears. Start from there. Is there anything wrong, madam? Are you okay? Start from there. The ability to read physical cues. Don't be a customer experience professional without emotion. No. One that doesn't feel. No. Start from the ability. Read their physical cues. The use of positive language is another strong communication skill. What is positive language? Positive language is simply changing your words. When you change your words, you change your world. Take note of that. When you change your words, you change your world. Don't say no. Rather say, what I can do is, one is positive, one is negative, but they're all saying the same thing. Right? So don't say, I'm sorry, there is nothing I can do about it. If there is nothing you can do about it, instead of saying, no, there is nothing I can do about it, rather say, what I can do is, then obviously the other is what I cannot do. What I can do for you is prepare the documents and help you submit it. But of course, I cannot take a decision on it, right? Positive language. Try to substitute your words, okay? Instead of calling it complaint, call it feedback. Huh? Madam, we received your complaint. Sir, we did receive your feedback. Look, it's the same thing. But one person has used positive language, the other one is using negative language. As a customer service professional, you must learn to use positive language. Respect. Sometimes you will deal with customers who are of a lower social rank than you, or who are elderly, or who are in a more vulnerable situation than you. It doesn't matter if they are the president of the republic or they are the most unemployed or most vulnerable person. Respect every customer. Give them the same level of importance, irrespective of the quality of their business, the amount of purchases they are doing. Respect every customer. It's not your place to discriminate. Respect. Address them formally, sir, Mr., Madam. Okay? Even if it is your classmate or your friend in the neighborhood, okay? Still address them with respect. One of the last things I would mention here is persuasive speaking. Now, when you're a customer service professional, you most often will be a salesperson. Now, you have to be able to convince, right? And I'll tell you, you have to build your persuasion speaking skills, the ability to sell such that somebody can buy, right? For example, always try to see what is in it for them. What is in it for the customer? Don't focus on making the sale. Focus on showing to them the value of the product to them. Okay? And I would say if you want to catch a fish, you're not going to take cake, put in a hook, and throw it into water. I love cake, but it doesn't mean that if I want to catch a fish, the fish would love cake. So I'm going to put cake and throw it into the water. No, I love cake, but the fish loves worm. So if I want to catch a fish, what I tie on the hook is a worm and not cake, right? So sometimes we're focusing too much on what we want, but the question is, what does the customer want? We're focusing too much on what the company wants. The question is, what does the customer want? When you start looking at things from their perspective, then you will better understand their needs and you can be able to sell better to them. You can be able to propose things that are more valuable to them. So stop looking at it from your perspective and start looking at it from their perspective. Okay? Let's move on to the next set of skills. Organizational skills. The first is adaptability, decisiveness, responsiveness, attention to details, follow-up, planning, and time management. Adaptability. Adapt. There are some people, when you take them out of their normal work environment, they become totally lost. Adaptability is the ability to learn, the ability to understand that things can change, and the ability to respond to change positively. So if I tell you today we're working from this office, today we're working on this project, today this is the approach, don't just like, oh no, this is what I always do. You know, that is the problem with adaptability. Like, this is what I always do. This is what I have been doing. That is what you have been doing, but things have changed. Today, with the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people are attending lectures now like this. Before, there are schools who said, oh, on campus. Today, people study all levels of studies, from primary to PhD levels. People now sit in front of Zoom. Primary school children sit in front of Zoom to study. Adaptability. Things have changed. Your ability to change with changing times is a very important skill. Don't say, no, we always do it like this, so you want to do it just that way. Wrong. Decisiveness. Your ability to take decisions. Your ability not to remain indifferent in every situation. There are some people, they never have an opinion. What do you think? I'll be like, I don't really know. Just do what. No. You have to learn to be decisive. Okay? Decisiveness. Decisiveness is the ability not to always be indifferent. You have to learn to take a point of view. You have to learn to take a position. Responsiveness. There are some people who are just inactive, right? Responsiveness, we're looking here at your ability to be agile. Agility. That's the key word there. Agility. Huh? You move. Huh? You're the kind of person that makes things move, not just static. Huh? Just static. The team is moving, you're not moving. Responsiveness is your ability to follow the trend, your ability to move with the team. Attention to details is very important. Super, super important. Now, when I talked about the top 10, attention to details is most certainly in the top 10. Attention to details. Attention to details. Now, details are very, very important. Very important. I always say that your ability to take note of the small things that happen around you is your strongest weapon to seize opportunities that happen around you. Read the trends. When you're listening to someone, try to hear what they're not saying. You understand what I mean? What is the customer not saying in what they are saying? What is the customer saying behind what they are saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about connecting the dots. I'm talking about tuning your brain to that frequency where you listen to what the person is not saying. And that because you're able to connect the dots, because you're careful with the details, because you're keen at what they're saying, because you're taking note of everything. And that's why I always say, as a customer service professional, you must always have this open in front of you, a book. A book. Whenever you start an interaction with a customer, that book must be wide open like that. And what do? The customer says, "Good morning, I am Madame Anne." The first thing you do is you write Madame Anne. I'm from Douala. I'm from Nairobi. You just put dash Nairobi. Now, you're going to take note of what they are saying. Jot those details. Believe me or not, when you start a conversation with somebody, you're thinking, it's just fine. I would remember that name. 10 minutes into the conversation, you've forgotten their name. You've forgotten even where they were coming from. So always jot. A customer service professional is his jotter. No jotter, no life. And that jotter is what will permit you to do follow-up on tasks, which is the next skill, the ability to do follow-up. Don't tell a customer, I will send, and then you don't send. Because at times you forget because you didn't jot it down. You didn't plan it out. Each day you must have your jotter. Every interaction, every promise, every action, jot it down. Attention to details. Put specificities, put times, put dates, put places, put persons, put names, put durations. Attention to details, and then follow up. If you don't have the habit of writing down tasks, believe me or not, you cannot be successful as a customer service professional. Totally. This is not negotiable. You cannot. You cannot. Planning and time management are very important, and they are a fundamental part of what I'm talking about. Planning. Get up in the morning and looking. These are the tasks I have for the day. I do this, then I do this, and then when you finish, you cross over, and if you're not able to do something, then you carry it over to the next day. Planning and time management. Super, super important. So the next is personality skills. Look at 4 things: patience, positive attitude, taking responsibility for your actions, creativity. What's patience? You should have that ability to wait. The customer is talking to you, have the patience to listen. To listen. Listen to them talk. That ability to listen so that others can talk. That ability Not to give up on the customer because you think that they're not understanding this thing you're saying. Like, come on, this is simple now. You don't get it. No, patience. Everyone is not on the same temperament. They don't have the same level of understanding like you. So sometimes you want to be patient with people, okay? Try to be patient so you can understand them, so you can be able to get what they are saying. Patience is very important. Positive attitude. Positive attitude is about feeling positive, looking at things from the right side. Look at this cup. One person would say, this cup is half empty. Another person would see it as half full. And whether you see it as half full or half empty depends on your attitude towards life, right? Your attitude is you're trying to see the positive thing in everything, then you see it's half full. Oh, we're getting there. It's going to be full soon. And someone who is a pessimist will look at, he's focusing on the empty part of that cup. Look, it's half empty. Positivity is about looking at things from a positive perspective every time. Looking at the customer and trying to give them the benefit of doubt every time. Trying to yeah, but what can I do to really help them out? Try to look at it from the positive perspective. We're not saying you're not going to have challenges in your daily life, but when you're walking into your job site, as you reach the door, remove the cap of all those problems and leave them at the door. Get in, smile, okay? Positive attitude begins with a smile and genuinely showing you care for people. And when you're going back home, don't forget to pick up your problems from the door, okay? Pick up your problem cap and take it home again. Do not put down those problems on the customers. Taking responsibility for your actions. Yeah. When you make an error, you should be able to accept that I made an error. Take responsibility for your actions and learn. Okay? Take responsibility. And I also always say here, a good customer service professional is one who is responsible for the actions they take, who is responsible for their customers. Once you engage an interaction with the customer, it's not enough to say, I've transmitted it to the other department. Keep doing follow-up. You are responsible for that, for the success of that thing. As long as the customer passed through you. Don't say, I've asked the other person to handle. Still go back to that person. Were you able to solve the customer's problem? And then reach out to the customer again and ask, was your problem solved? That's responsibility. Creativity. Yeah. You must be creative. When we're talking of creative is try to put in your thinking cap. Try to go above and beyond yourself, okay? Creativity is not something that is only inborn. You can learn to be creative, okay? There are ways you can learn to be creative. There are games you can play to improve your creativity. There are books you can read to improve your creativity. There are trainings you can take to improve your creativity. So we have subject matter expertise, readiness to learn, product knowledge. You can see that little girl sitting on a pile of books. As a customer service professional, you must be ready to learn at all times. That readiness to learn, ready to learn new things, ready to learn new ways in which the customer wants to be served, ready to learn from the mistakes you did yesterday, ready to learn about the new trends that are affecting the industry in which you're found. Don't just sit and say, oh, my work is to serve the customer. You have to learn about what your company's goals are. You have to learn about what the new CEO's vision is, what the mission of your organization is. You have to learn all of those things. Product knowledge is super, super important. If you're saying that you're a customer service professional, then you must understand your products. Today, customers have the possibility to research about products before coming to your organization. They have so much resources online. They can learn about it, and it's really frustrating to come in front of someone who represents the organization and you have no clue about the products, or you don't understand the products you're selling. So take time to understand your products. Really know your products. Go beyond what you have been taught about the product. Do your personal research, just like the customer does. Know changes that are happening. Know future trends. And When you demonstrate that you understand the product that you're selling, customers are more comfortable to trust you with getting that product from you. That's super important. So the next set of skills, workload management skills, we have meeting deadlines, multitasking, setting realistic expectations and goals. Deadlines, if you say you're doing it today, make sure you do it today. If you tell a customer we're sending it to you in 3 days, make sure you send it in 3 days. If you say that we can only do it by Tuesday, then make sure by Tuesday you do it. And if you're not able to do it, then notify the customers about the challenges that you have. Multitasking is the ability to do several things at the same time. Now, there's an irony here because some people will be like, multitasking is wrong. You shouldn't be talking to a customer and hitting on the machine, right? But then, as a customer service professional, you may have to deal with your boss at the same time with the customer. Like this email that has come requesting you to submit this thing, super important. And then now there's a customer in front of you. What do? You have objectives you have to achieve, and then there's a customer in front of you. What do? You must have that ability to multitask, right? That ability to be there for the customer and to be able to perform some other task, not necessarily simultaneously, but organizing yourself in a way that the task can be happening almost at the same time. And when I talked of planning, when you do good planning, then you can multitask well because you're able to see what activity can go before which one, right? And then you can see what resource you need to start now so that it's easier for you to attend to this and then later to this. Multitasking is very important. And you cannot succeed in multitasking if you're not doing effective planning. Very important. Now, one of the key problems that customer service professionals have is goal setting. You set such unrealistic goals that you begin to run behind them. Yeah. This is one of the one of the top 10. Setting realistic expectations. You tell yourself, okay, this year I'm going to do sports every morning. You can't do sports every morning. So you're setting an unrealistic expectation, and then you begin to suffer from the consequences of an unrealistic goal which you have set. Set realistic goals, set realistic expectations, and then achieve them. Then exceed yourself every other time. Realistic goal setting, realistic expectations. Not yes, 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 every time. What you can do, you can do. What you can do, you can't do. What you can do, you can then say, I will do it, and then you work towards it. Realistic expectations. If your line manager gives you a task and you know you cannot do this, tell your line manager, I'm going to try doing this, but I think that I would need some extra time, or I will need to learn on how to do this. Set realistic expectations. Don't just say, yes, I'm going to do it. Oh, yes, I'm giving it to you right away. When you know you cannot. It's a problem. It's very important. Setting realistic expectations and goals. Job-focused technical skills. Now, there are some skills that are job-oriented as a customer service professional. First of all, the first thing is the use of spreadsheets. Guys, if you're serious about your customer service, learn how to use spreadsheets. Because not only is the use of spreadsheets important in reporting, but many softwares and tools you would use for data management and all of that would require knowledge of the use of spreadsheets. When I talk of spreadsheets, I mean tools like Excel, Microsoft Excel. If you are serious about your customer service, go and learn Excel. Because you need Excel to organize data, to organize information. It's a super important skill, a basic skill for a customer service professional. Microsoft Excel. It's an important tool for data keeping customer data, arranging data, among other things, reporting, among others. CRM, customer relationship management softwares. Now, different organizations will use different tools, but learn at least one. Learn at least how to use one tool. Now, what that does to you is it gives you an understanding of the general structure of tools. If you go to the CX Touchpoints group website, you're going to see an article which we've put there on how to select a customer relationship management tool. In that article, you get to understand what do these tools do, right? Like the basic things that customer relationship management tools do are things like keep the customer's data, track interactions with customer, manage tasks you want to perform against customers, assign products that they are using, among other things. So knowledge of one would be super, super useful if you have to be able to use another. So if you've learned how to use one tool and then you go to a new tool tomorrow, it may be different, but your knowledge about the basic principles on how it works would be useful in the next software you're using. Data entry. Data entry, it's very, very similar to what I had told you about Excel, right? You must learn how to input data. Whether you're inputting data in forms online, or you're inputting it in the system, or you're inputting it, data entry is an integral part of the job of every customer service professional. You will be entering customer data, either filling forms or things like that. You should have some basic experience in this, okay? Data entry. And that's why I say here, you may want to learn typing. You may want to learn how to type. Now, these are some very basic things you can do at your free time. Learning how to type and typing professionally is super, super important because it can help you a lot to quicken your job and make things go faster. Knowledge management. Somebody will be like, knowledge management? What is knowledge management? Here, you're just going to learn different ways in which you can search for information and you can organize information in a way that it's easy to access, in a way that it's easy to use. Okay? As a customer service professional, you may have to use your company's knowledge base, okay, to learn. You may have to look into your company's knowledge base to give customers instructions or to share information to customers. So knowledge management is very, very important. And you yourself, you may have to prepare short replies, prepare short statements that you use when talking to customers. You may want to organize this yourself for your personal use during the execution of your duties. Basic computer skills. You must learn basic computer skills. I'm afraid to tell you this. We're no longer looking at basic computer skills when it comes to frontline customer service staff. Now we're getting to advanced computer skills. Now, why am I saying so? Customer service roles are becoming more and more computerized. Now, if you really have to be successful in your customer service role, you really have to become a more than average computer user. Like a more than average. Because we're in a digital age, we're in an information age, everything is going digital. And if everything is going digital, you really have to be more than just a basic computer user if you want to be successful in your customer service. So enroll into that computer training program, start learning skills, start learning and understanding how to use exploitation systems, start learning and understanding basics about browsers, using the internet, among other things. You need to be beyond just a basic user now in cost if you have to be successful in your customer service. And the use of social media is becoming a must in customer service roles. You may have to run your company's Facebook page or interact on its Instagram page or its WhatsApp channel, or you should understand how those channels function. Create accounts there. Use it, not because you love them, but because you want to understand how they work. Okay? Very important. Bonus. Now, I added a bonus. Besides the regular customer service skills, I try to put some customer experience core skills. What are customer experience core skills? If you're really serious, if you are really, really serious about getting that customer service job, being promoted in that customer service role, now focus on this. Beside all of those things I have said, you must know how to discern customers' needs. You must know how to analyze customers' needs, because that's the starting point of every customer experience or relationship. The second thing, super important, is know how to build customer relationships. If you're not a relationship kind of person, you have to start that today. You have to learn how to build friends, how to make friends. One simple advice: never criticize. Never criticize. If you want to make friends, never criticize. Nobody loves being criticized, even you. Even people would say, I love positive. Nobody loves being criticized. So learn not to criticize people. Learn to appreciate people for the things they do. Wow. Instead of seeing the wrong thing they're doing, identify the one positive thing they're doing and focus so much on it. Praise them so much on it that they would want to keep that praise, and they will begin to develop the other things. Take note of what I'm saying. Build relationships with your team members. Don't be the guy who is always like, oh, who's that? You're always like this. You guys are like this. You guys are like this. You one is doing this one. Stop criticizing. Stop complaining and start appreciating. If you have that colleague who just doesn't know how to get it right, focus on what they're doing right and begin to appreciate them for it. People want to defend that title. People want to defend the fact that, oh, they've been appreciated for this. Then they will do more. Learn how to collect customer data. Very important. What are ways in which I can collect or capture the voice of the customer? Know how to handle difficult customers. Understand your role in employee experience. Employee experience is the experience you give to your colleagues, to your team. What is my role as a team player? And like I said, master at least one CRM, one customer relationship management tool. And that takes us to the end of the presentation. So we're going to move on to the question and answer session. Unfortunately, we have just 15 minutes for that. I have already 2 questions that have been asked. So if you have your questions, you can already drop it. I would respond to the questions as I see them in the question and answer box. But before that, if you're wondering where you can get this information, all these beautiful things I've been saying, I just extracted about 4 pages. That's just 4 pages from this book, The Employee Customer Service Guide. It's a book which I wrote, which is published. You can get it on Amazon. And if you're not in a country where Amazon is easy to get, you can contact us and we can be able to give you a copy. You can buy a copy of this book. This is, I call it the Employee Customer Service Guide. It is like the start point for anyone who is serious about their customer service. In here, we try to explain who is a customer, how do you know a customer, what are customer needs, how do you differentiate between customer core and auxiliary needs. And then at the end of this book, we also put the customer service code of conduct. It is super important. And also, if you loved this training and you're interested in deepening your skills in customer service, then pick up one of our certification programs. We have 4 customer service certifications at 4 levels. Level 1 is the Customer Service Junior Practitioner Certification, which is the entry point into customer service. And the entry point is like for someone who is just getting into customer service and really just wants to grab all the basics, know the basics in customer service, such that you can sit in front of a customer and feel comfortable serving them, then take this certification. It's a 4 weeks training. Or if you're already into customer service, you've had some basic knowledge, you've been experiencing it already, and you want now to take it to the next level, you're looking at performance, you want to master experience management, then you are looking at the Certified Customer Experience Management Professional Training, which is an 8 module training, 8 weeks. Or if you have been leading a customer service team for the last few years and now you want to get more skills on how to lead that team, or you simply want to materialize and say, yes, I'm a customer experience manager, because it's a job, but you don't have a paper to prove for that. Then you can take this training that builds your skills on how to lead a customer experience team. Or if you are in charge of the customer experience strategy of your organization, then you can take this other 8-module, 8-week training, strategic customer experience management plan certification, which takes you over how to create a strategy for customer experience, how to design a customer experience project for your organization, how to implement it, how to measure it, how to train your teams, and all of that. This one is an executive level training. You can start with the level 1. You can go to the you can also start with the level 2, but you cannot take the level 3 and 4 except you take level 2. So from level 2 you can take level 3, and from level 2 you can take either level 3 and 4 or level 4. But then, whatever be your level of competencies, how many years you've spent already in customer experience, just check on our website, CX Touchpoints group. You will see in other trainings, you have all the details. And for all those people who attended this training and who are interested in registering for any of these, we would offer you a super important discount of 30% this week if you register for any of these trainings. So let's go to your questions. Great. It's time to answer your questions. This is the best moment. Good. I have 4 questions already.